against what I recommended him to do. He went against my suggestion, and he brings her this big bouquet of flowers. He's so excited. I said, okay, but... So he does that. They go out for a nice dinner. He asks her out. He takes her for a nice dinner. He was having an amazing time. Amazing time. It was going great, going just the way he thought it would. And everything's great. And the meals come on time. And she's looking at him and looking at him. They're getting along. They're building connection. And then the check comes. He pays for the check as he should. As he should, y'all. And as the check comes, she asks him, wait, do you mind if we get my kids' food as well? They need some when I come back home. So he says, okay. He agrees. He agrees. And not only does she say, he's expecting, oh, maybe some chicken tenders, something like that. But no. This was a nice place. So he was already daddying for the evening. What does she do? She gets 2 big chicken linguines for her 3. 2. So he, in the back of his head, he said, wow, I can't believe this is happening. So the dishes come. He gets to a point, leaves her for the evening. Now he comes to me saying, what should I do? Ladies, let's see if you're going to give some good, accurate information here. Let's see if you had a son, brother, or anybody else you'd give good information to. What should he do, ladies?
You got to think about it, right? And this is facts. 95% of men that mess with a girl that has kids or a kid, they just trying to fuck.
Yeah.
They just, that 5% is going to be rare because that 5%, the 5% is the man who's going to actually step up. But 95%, bro, they just trying to fuck and that's it.
And I want to add it onto this. The only reason that it's only 5%, shorties, y'all don't even know y'all power. If y'all were more cooperative, I'm pretty sure it's way.
Of course. You want to know something? To add to what you said, it's getting shorter because they seeing like yo, they just trying to take advantage. Fuck that. I'm gonna go jump on that 95% and just start cracking all these single mothers. And that's it. And go on a rampage, knock them down like dominoes. And that's it. Because some guys don't want to do that. Some guys don't want to step up, bro. Because they take advantage.
It's not worth it.
They want you to do shit.
Feel like it's worth it.
Niggas love single. Niggas love a good baby mama. Where we started this sentiment that men don't like women with children. Never seen a single mom struggle or keep one. This whole idea that devalues you or doesn't make you a hot commodity or someone's first kid. It's the same thing with older women and they love single moms. Niggas mom like an independent woman who has her, because a man can easily find where he fits in or the life of a single mom. You know, children alone, it's not desirable. Women who become single moms don't set out, at least the ones that I know. I'm not saying that single moms that are crazy, that are reckless, that don't prioritize being a parent. I'm saying needs to be discarded. Just how they try to prove to you, oh, a woman past 30 over 30. It's all a bunch of lies. It's all things to make you feel into a woman so that you have to settle for the bottom of the barrel. Rapings. It's literally a condition. Women think that you're not as desirable as you age and you're not as age, so you might as well pick me. It's literally so can get you. It's so that you will lower their them because by you're not a top priority or you're not the number one pick. It's all a bunch of baloney. You've always been a top pick. You will pick. And anything else that they're telling you is a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of baloney. So that's my 2 cents. They're lying to you.
Men today, you do what's right. But they tell women, you do what's right for guys to fall for the trap of the hot single mom. She does all the right things when you meet her because they want to draw you in. And then you start diving down the rabbit hole of spending time with them. Then you start taking vacations with them. And it just blows up. You get to the point where you're like trapped somewhere. You're like, what the fuck am I doing? And how did I get myself into this?
Yeah.
Why are these kids so disrespectful? And why don't they appreciate anything?
As a single mother, I'm going to tell you something that you do not want to hear about dating. And it's really harsh, but it is a reality. When you are a single mother, even if you share custody, but like specifically if you're a single mother, like 100% full-time parent, it is going to be so easy for the men that you date to cheat on you. And the simple reasoning is this: you don't have time, okay? So you're constantly preoccupied. So you're not worried about what's going on in their phone. You're not worried about where they are all day. You're not tracking their location because you got other shit to do. You have a literal human life that depends on you. And if you're a present parent like me, you have school functions, you have their extracurricular activities, everything else going on. So you're not like in their business. Bad men, manipulative men, narcissistic men will see this as their perfect opportunity to pounce and have more women. Now, do other types of men do this? Absolutely. But all I'm saying is it's much easier when you're a single mom dating for the men to have the opportunity to have multiple women on the side. Facts. And I'll tell you this from my experience because I don't have time to be going through that man's phone. I don't have time to be wondering where you're at. I don't have time to like keep your schedule on hand. I have a child. I have her schedule in mind. I have drop-offs. I have my own work to do. I have all my own stuff going on. And while I see that as a positive, men will see that as an opportunity. I'm not saying this is a bad thing because technically, like, I want to be busy. I want to be doing all of these things for myself and providing for my daughter and doing the most, you know what I mean? Because, like, that's just the way that I am. But it is a big loophole in the system. A lot of guys actually like to date single moms because they can cheat. It's easier for them. They have their own time. They don't have to constantly be worried about you. You're doing your own thing. You have somebody who relies on you, aka giving them time to do their own thing. While I do agree it is good for both people to have their own time, like, you shouldn't be living your life parallel, you know what I mean? Like, there has to be an intersect. So if they are not cool with you being a mom, or they like never want your kid around, he's gotta go. I love you.
Okay, this is a crash out post. I'm currently crashing out. Sorry in advance. Women, do not get married and have kids unless you plan on and are capable of becoming a single mom. Because 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, I don't know, statistically high, that's probably what's going to happen to you. Now, I love being a mom. I really do. And in fact, I quite enjoy most of the time being a single mom. This shit is not fair. The world is not set up for single moms. You will struggle. I don't care what job you have. I don't care how much you get paid. Especially in this economy right now, okay? The world is not set up for single mothers. It will be fucking hard. It will test you in ways that you didn't know that you could even be tested. You will have to fight for those kids, most likely. You will have to fight for those kids. You will have to wake up every morning and question, just real talk, if motherhood is really something that you want anymore, because these men make it so hard. They make it so hard to be a mom. They take away all of the tender moments of motherhood that you could have had, but you were stuck in survival mode. So you didn't even really get to enjoy it. You're just fucking surviving, trying to raise these kids, trying to do the best you can, and you get $250 a month. What the fuck? That is pennies. That is the gas money it is taking me to drop them off at their father's house and pick them back up. $250 a month. And my ex is a nurse. $250 a month. I'm sorry. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this. These men will take everything from you. They will promise you so much. They will promise you so much. And it will feel great at first. It will feel peaceful at first. And for some fucking reason, when you have their child, they will abandon you. They will discard you Even if they don't cheat, even if they don't do anything significant, they'll emotionally turn away from you to the point where you leave. I left. I can't be in that. It is not what we were promised. It is not what you think it is. I promise you. I promise you. And before you come on here and say, oh, well, my situation's not like that. Good for you, honey. You are in the 1% of women that are very lucky, because the rest of us don't have that. And the rest of us become single moms. And it sucks, because all I wanted was to be a mom. I love being a mom. But the best parts of my motherhood were taken from me. And in fact, the first time I got pregnant, the man said he couldn't have kids, and then fought me in court for 5 years. Fought me in court for 5 years to take away my son that he claimed in the beginning he wasn't even capable of producing, because he didn't want to wrap it up at first. Yeah. Yep. I can't handle it. I can't handle this. I can't handle men anymore. Y'all are liars. You lie to women. You promise us a lot. We are objects to you. We are things that you put on your shelf. I am a human being, and my life is forever changed. My life is forever changed. I will never be the same. My youth was stolen from me. I had to put my boots on the ground and become a single mom at 21 years old. I didn't get to live. I didn't get to live. I didn't. My life is not what I wanted it to be. Not even close. But I love being a mom. I'm holding space for two things at one time. Just don't date men. We are at a point in society where we are waking up to the reality of the patriarchy, which is a very real thing that I didn't used to believe in, and I fucking do now. To what men are really like. I will never see the change in men that I need to see to feel safe enough to ever date again in my entire life. It will take too long. The change that we need to see in men will take too long. It's 100, 200 years from now. So just don't date men. Just don't. Just focus on yourself. And don't have kids with the wrong person. And I don't know how to tell you what man is the right man, because I thought they both were. I thought they both were the right man, and they were not.
Men who date single moms are super interesting to me. Let's say you have a man in his 20s, 30s, 40s. Let's say he's in good shape, decent looking guy, has a stable job or career. You're out here as a grown man in the dating place. You could go to a bar, lounge, nightclub. You could go to Whole Foods, farmer's market. You could download dating apps, which I don't recommend. There are 50% at least of the population are women. A certain percentage of those women have children. Some in relationships, marriages, some single moms. Of all the women that you could choose to date and spend your time, energy, resources, efforts on, you choose a single mother. Now, for a second, let's ignore the obvious red flags of the fact that a woman chose to have kids with a man that she's not in an active relationship with, raising the kids. Let's ignore that. Okay, single mom. Well, how'd you meet her? She was out. More than likely, you didn't meet her at a grocery store, because people don't really do that. You probably met her out at a bar, lounge. She was probably drinking. So there's a level of neglect going on there. You know, what are her priorities really if she's out living her social life with a child? Probably doesn't have the income she needs to actually provide a great life for the child. And probably there's a discontented relationship between herself and its father. Let's ignore all that. Okay, so you meet a woman, she has a kid. Okay, cool. All right, what's your plan? You're gonna date her, go on a couple of dates, y'all get sexually involved. Okay, cool. You get to know her, you have chemistry, compatibility. You enjoy being around her. And then, you know, hey, you want to go to her place, you want her to come to your place. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll come to your place, or you can come over to my place. Let me call my mom or a babysitter to watch the kid. And then you're just like, oh, okay, cool, let me know if that works. All right, works out, cool. So you go over to her place, kids, clothing and toys are over there, whatever. You make some dinner, have some wine together, have a beer together, and then you end up having sex and sleeping over. Oh, yeah, you got to go now. I got to go pick up my kid from the babysitter or my mom. All right, cool. Well, let's say you want to go on a trip. Okay, so she's going to drop the kid off with the babysitter or her mom or something like that for a couple of days, maybe a week, so y'all can go travel while neglecting the kid. Let's ignore that. Let's say you want to buy a house together. Okay. So you buy a house together, and now you got to pick an extra bedroom because she has a kid, and then you got to think about y'all's kids that you want to have together in the future. So we got to have an extra bed for that as well, or a bedroom for that as well. It's got to be close enough to her parents so that she can, have a ready, available babysitter. And the dude's not in jail or dead, so that means that she's getting child support from him, which is kind of weird. Another guy's giving her money. She's got to go exchange the kid with him in person, a man who literally was having sex with her and orgasming inside of her, a man who was having sex with her and ejaculating inside of her, and now she's with him in private on a regular basis. Let's ignore that. But then you're going to have kids together, and then the kids are going to have half brothers, half sisters, kind of a weird terminology in the first place. Yeah, men who date single mothers are strange to me. I don't really understand their perception of reality. Anyway, maybe you want something different. Maybe you want to actually meet a woman and create your own family by a woman who has not already been jizzed in and copulated an entire human being inside of her womb, which changed her biology to have more affinity to the man who jizzed in her. I don't know. But if that's you, if you want to go and claim your own woman to create your own family, possibly join my online course and community called Jaguar's Den. Click the link in my bio. $7, 3 live calls a week, 5 hours of content, community of like-minded men who are not looking for single moms. If that's you, highly recommend you click the link now, and I'll see you in the community.
So firstly, let's debunk this whole concept that men create single mothers, which is not true. No man has ever forced a woman to open their legs to a man that they are not married to. That's number one. So for women to sit in a car and complain and cry, to be careful of men because they're going to leave you when you have a kid with them. Why would you have a child or children with multiple baby daddies and complain that you're not married to, and complain that they're going to leave you and they're not going to help you and they're not going to, take care of their own kids? A lot of these people claim to be Christians, but they're not abiding by Christian values. Because if you are abiding by them, you wouldn't be in the situations that you find yourself in. They are very, very clear and simple. Wait up until you are married before you sleep with someone. But that's impossible. That's very, very difficult for people to do. Something that is meant to be so easy is very, very difficult for people to do. I don't understand. I don't think avoiding being a single mother is that difficult. All you have to do is just not sleep around and wait up until you get married before you sleep with a guy. But it seems so difficult. And for a lot of these guys who put themselves in these situations, listen, God bless you. I almost said you niggas, but God bless you guys. But I just think you guys are putting yourself in a very, very difficult situation. You are really, really pushing yourself in a very difficult situation. What's going to happen one day when those kids tell you that, when you try to reprimand them and they're like, you're not my daddy? What are you going to do? Because you can't discipline them without the consent of the mother. And what are you going to do when the real father comes and say, listen, I want to be part of my kid's life? You can't say no. So why not avoid putting yourself in that situation in the first place? Why? I know this is cliche, this thing is cliche, but it's actually true that women give access to sex and men give access to relationships. If as a woman you just say no, then no is a no. We're not talking about extreme situations where abuse is involved. We're just talking about normal, regular people. This shit doesn't happen. And you guys will be having multiple baby daddies, having 2, 3, 4, even 5 kids. That's insane, bro. That's insane. I would never put myself in that situation. Regardless how good of a person she is, I'm just not putting myself in that situation. To be taking care of another man's child, that is not true, bro. And for these guys that are sims, and that be blaming men for these situations, is there some personal responsibility that needs to be taken? Yes. But is it their fault? No. The only thing that you can control is yourself. You can't control a woman opening her legs to a man that she's not married to and blame the man for sleeping with her. And when they be getting on the internet and they make these videos, there's no personal responsibility taken. None whatsoever. It's all about how he is, what he did, and why he left, and what kind of a piece of shit he is. Which is, again, I'm not taking personal responsibility from the man. But as a woman, you're the one who's getting pregnant. You should be the one who's making these decisions. Not some random man. And you get the nerve to say both baby daddies are pieces of shit. Well, then maybe you need to question your choice of men. You need to question the type of men that you choose to involve yourself with. The majority of men are not pieces of shit. So you need to question the pool of men that you choose to involve yourself with. There are a lot of great, good men. And again, some of these men, they're not even financially stable to handle or to take care of themselves fully on their own. But yet they put themselves in these situations and these positions of taking care of kids that are not theirs. This shit doesn't make any sense at all. It just sounds like, lust is the one that's ruling all of these situations. Lust will put you in very, very, very tricky situations that one day you're going to wake up and say, what the fuck am I doing? How did I get myself into this? Now you went you went on a date with her. Now she's asking you to buy food for the kids. And you can't say no. I mean, technically, once you are in that situation, especially if the date went well, and at the end of the day, she asks you, hey, because, I'm going home now, can you please buy my kids food? They might need some food. Nigga, all you have to say at that point is say, you know what? Okay. You don't have any choice. Some of you need to stop it. Some of these guys need to stop this thing. You need to stop this thing. And maybe once as a man you take personal responsibility, and as a collective as men, especially men that don't have kids, and you say, listen, we're not gonna date women who have children by previous men. Then maybe people must start making conscious decisions of not putting themselves in these situations. This is crazy, bro. This is insane. It's insane. If my younger brother came to me and said this to me, that he's getting involved with a chick that already has kids, bro, you might have to tussle. You might have to throw hands. There are a lot of women out here. You're telling me that you're choosing the one that has kids? You wanna be a step-daddy, huh? Come on, bro. Come on. Some of these guys, before they make these decisions, they need to go to, I don't know, their older brothers. If you don't have brothers, your older, the people that play the role, especially men, not women, because women are just going to give you a bad advice. I don't see any woman giving you, saying, don't do it, because they entertain this bullshit. Listen, like and subscribe to the channel, and please drop them to your comments. I wanna hear what your thoughts are.